But when you hear the word sell,
So you're not comfortable with that word
I'm
sell,
not comfortable
right?
because me personally, when I've seen, I'm very good to discuss this as well.
Yeah.
When I was growing up and dealing with Muslims doing business and trade, I saw there was a heavy bartering. I saw there was a lot of dishonesty. For example, if I go to Pakistan, I wear my normal clothes, my granddad would say to me, don't go in there. Because they're gonna increase the prices.
Yeah.
Why don't they have a fixed set of prices? Why are they changing base? It's like what Amazon got in trouble for. They tracked your spending habits on Amazon, and they would increase the prices if you liked certain books, because then they would get more revenue out of it. That was unethical, and they got stopped for that. I shouldn't, obviously. We like to mention companies, but anyway, the purpose of making this is that like this sort of dishonesty, this sort of like it's not just dishonesty, but like it's more like they treat you not like a human. There's no integrity. There's more like...
But see, this is very interesting because this goes to the whole thing of why we see selling as negative. Because not just in the Muslim culture, even in non-Muslim culture,
as well.
Sales are seen as a negative thing. It's usually why, because when you think about selling in sales, you think about a dodgy car salesman. So you go to buy a car for a guy, he's like, it's a perfect car, this, that and the other, you pay him the money, as soon as you drive out there, the car breaks down and it's like everything's gone, right? And so it's like you said, it's that lack of integrity.
Yeah.
But if you think about, like I always tell brothers, because we work with a lot of Muslims, we're trying to tell them that, look, you have to get out there and you have to sell what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have to sell. But I say to them, look, let's have this shift in mindset. Instead of me saying sell, how about if I said you have to share?
Share is better. I like share.
Right.
Share is a good word. Why is share a good word?
It feels like more together.
You feel nice about it, right?
You feel nice.
But in essence, what is selling? Selling is the act of giving you something for money or value.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right?
it's good because occupations as well, jobs. They don't actually have sales. They have like in different industries. For example, your business development.
Yeah, we call it like account manager and things like that.
Stuff like that. But what actually it is you're basically selling.
Yeah.
Even like banks, they have a different name for it. If you want to sell your services to other businesses and stuff like that, it's a specific name. But like it's that people don't like the word sell because they know that there's asymmetric information.
That's right.
So for example, you're the seller, I'm the buyer. I don't have as much information about something that you do. So you're more likely to manipulate manipulate my mind into buying something that I have to trust you for.
Yeah.
And so when you add selling into that, it's like,
he's trying to sell to me. He's trying to manipulate me.
Like sometimes, I'll give you an example. I was walking in King's Cross, and this guy came. He was really convinced in me to donate to his charity. I said, I love your charity. I love what it's doing. It's different. I'll donate on my own space on the internet. He goes, no, donate now, please, donate now. It was like, it was bombarding. I tried to leave the conversation 15 minutes.
No way.
Wallahi, it took me 15 minutes. A couple of friends walked past, Asam Quraysh walked past, Ghulam walked past. I wanted to speak to them. 15 minutes, I couldn't leave every time I tried. He knew how to sell. Luckily, I managed to get away, but I was so put off. I was like, if you really wanted me to do it, why don't you believe me that I'll go and do it? Why are you forcing me to do it right now and there and then? Yeah. But that's because they know probably through statistics that people won't go and donate.
I think for me, like sales is where I started out. So my first proper professional job was a sales role. And it was very interesting for me because, I thought selling was like everyone else sees it in the sense that they put a script in front of you, get on the phone, say this stuff. Cold calling, that kind of stuff, right? But where I actually learned, the first company I worked for, it was amazing because rather than doing into that, they went into the psychology of selling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they introduced me to the customer's mind.
Right.
And how do you take them through different stages from being unaware to the point where they actually buy your product and they love your product and stuff.
You're giving them the information that they need to make an informed decision.
Yep. But what was amazing for me is that sparked my curiosity and interest in psychology. Right. And so then at that point, I learned that stuff and I was like, this stuff is amazing. And because that was around about the time when I started changing, I was like, you know what, one day I want to use this for the benefit of Islam somehow. Right. But I had no idea how to do that. But I just knew one day I'm going to use this.
But that's something ethical.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to, like I said, it all comes back to adding value, isn't it? And one of the ways you add value is to, when I want to sell something to someone, is that I trust that they'll make informed decisions. Yeah. But you just have to tap into that and give them the right knowledge.
This is very good, yeah. So I always tell clients this, right? whether it's on the internet or anything like that, what we're trying to do is actually get a transaction.
Yeah.
Right? Even like with viewers, there's a transaction going on here. What's the transaction?
Knowledge.
What about knowledge? What's the transaction though?
What's
the trade?
We are talking about something that they might be listening to.
Yeah.
We get the views. They get the knowledge.
They get the value, yeah?
They get the
so
value, yeah.
every time we're doing anything like this, whether it's on a website or anything like this, there's a transaction that takes place. What does a transaction require?
2 parties.
Okay, what else? I like that nikah thinking. What else?
Contract.
Yeah. What does it require? For me and you to actually trade, what does it require?
Agreement.
Agreement, yeah.
Tangible.
What's the foundation of trade? Trust.
Trust,
okay.
yes.
Trust. If you and I don't trust each other,
Yeah.
the likelihood we won't trade.
The trade will break.
Right?
Yeah.